What is going on? Another big day for traders. You guys know how I do it all the time. I come on Instagram Live to break down my NFP perspective to you. People say, are you going to trade NFP? Yes, I'm going to actually trade NFP. I'm not that type that likes to trade NFP, doing all those live stuff. Last month I did it, and then it went well. Last 2 months I did it, it went well. You know how these things work. Trading, especially news trading, is totally speculative, so you're not going to be always right about certain things, but nonetheless, we do it for the gram. But this week's or this month's NFP pretty much looks very straightforward, if you ask me, right? And then I think that from what I'm seeing here, it's not even going to be like a brainer. It's actually a no-brainer type of a setup. Nonetheless, there's still more details to really go through, right? Starting from the data itself, right? And I'm actually going to be trading. I usually would always trade like just three datas when we talk about NFP. I'm only always looking at GBP USD, Euro USD, and then XAU USD, right? That's also because I explained it. I explained it last month when I was doing the NFP live. I told you guys that the only reason why I choose these ones is that it does not conflict my bias, in that when dollar is weak, I expect all of them to go up, and then when dollar is strong, then I expect all of them to go down. So I like to trade all these three, just only these three, right? And then these are like the most volatile pairs that any trader can ever touch, which is like GBP USD, Euro USD, and then XAU. These are like the highly traded pairs. Apart from these ones, I don't know any other currency pair that is highly traded as this. So back to Forex Factory to access the NFP data. Now you can see that we have non-farm unemployment change. This is the quantity of jobs in terms of people that have lost their job. The unemployment rate here tells about the actual unemployment rate in the United States, right? And then here is new jobs that have been added, right? This one here, the unemployment changes, the new job that has been added, and here's the actual people that are currently unemployed in the United States. Now you can see that previously 517 jobs, pretty massive, right? And then now they are saying 224, which is pretty low than the previous one. So being that the variation is quite massive, if this one should appear to be the actual one, then you would expect to see excuse me again, then you'd expect to see a weaker dollar, right? If you understand me. If this one appears to be what the forecast is, then you would likely expect to see a weaker dollar. But here the rate itself did not change, so unemployment rate remains the same, but the unemployment the job creation number actually itself, which is the 517k, which is last month, and then this month being 224,000, is lower than the previous one. So it means that they didn't really push as much as they should have. So we expect to see some weaker dollar if we are testing that. And then if you come to the real setup itself, then you want to see how it reflects. Let's say indeed like there is a weaker dollar, right? Imagine that there's no fundamentals, and then we are looking to analyze this technically. What would we have done? That is the first question that you have to ask yourself as a trader anytime you want to trade the fundamentals. Like if I wanted to trade this technically without fundamentals, then I would probably be judging that, okay, maybe we have some Fibonacci zone here. I'm doing it from my perspective so that you can learn, right? Then I'd say, okay, maybe the market is tapping into this fib zone. I want to see how it reacts in this zone before maybe it gives like, a sell-off, right? That would be like my first initial bias for GBP USD. Then I would go to like Euro USD. Then I ask myself the same question, that okay, technically if I'm supposed to trade Euro USD and then there is no fundamental, what would I do? How would I trade Euro USD when it has no fundamental? I'll apply the same concept. I'll say, okay, let me put this fib from here to here. Okay, we're basically approaching let's say the 50 and 61.8, even though we have not tapped into it perfectly, right? Then I'd say, okay, let's hold on with this one as well. Now at least we know technically what to expect with it as well. Then we come to XAUSD. You can see that XAUSD also is in the same fashion as the GBP USD, which is like if you put a fib here, right, it's also currently sitting at 50 and the 61.8 retracement region. So it means that for that one as well, we want to see how the market is just going to drop from this region. Now technically you can see that all our bias is pointing downwards, and when our bias is pointing downwards, what does it tell us? It tells us that we expect a stronger dollar technically, right? But the fundamental is also telling us that we expect a weaker dollar. And if we are expecting a weaker dollar, then we are not expecting these ones to drop, then we are expecting them to actually do what? Continue in that same direction, which is like GBP going up, then Euro US. Sorry. So now that we have had a good perspective about our analysis, then the next thing to do is that what we now measure what exactly what the fundamental is saying. The fundamental says what it should in terms of following this straightaway data, is saying that it should do what it should be a weak dollar, and then here is saying what it should also be a stronger dollar. So which one do we go for? Technically saying what we're expecting some strength coming into the dollar. Fundamentally saying that we're supposed to see some weakness. If we're supposed to see some weakness, then we're going to see this one continue. This is where you use crowd psychology and sentimental analysis here, right? Crowd psychology and sentimental analysis is because most people technically are already selling in this zone, right? They are expecting that what technical analysis should complement, fundamental analysis should complement this one, and then get it to go down, right? People are already expecting that. The technical is already saying that this thing is going to go down, so let it go down. The technical is already saying we are in the 50%, we are in the 61.8. People will just throw all their Fibonacci values around, right? But this is why I go contrary, right? I become a contrarian in an analysis like this. And then being a contrarian is that I just would wait for the fundamentals, and then already I would have preconceived my bias. My preconceived bias is that I want to see strength in the dollar. Strength in the dollar means that I want to see continuation of these moves. I want to see GBP USD continue further up like that. So that's like me finally revealing my bias to you, that my primary bias is that I want to see like these moves continue up, right? I want to see these moves continue up. GBP USD go up, Euro USD continue going up, and then I want to see XAUSD also continuing to go up, just as it has resumed already, right? I want to see all these ones going up like that, right? That's my primary bias. Nonetheless, the way I trade the market is pretty different, right? Now, how do I trade the markets? I trade the market in a very smart, or I'd say more reasonable approach than most. Now people are saying the sound. Can you guys hear me though? Wait, okay. I think I lowered the sound. Now, the way I trade the fundamentals is in a very reasonable, more differentiated approach than most traders actually would, right? What I do is, regardless of my preconceived bias, right, regardless of what I have determined, okay, GBP US is going to go up, Euro US is going to go up, blah blah blah, is going to go up, like I have a fast finger, right? And then my fast finger is, regardless of whatever I have determined, I wait for that fundamental to come out, and I wait for the data to actually be revealed. So at 1:30 I keep refreshing, and exactly at 1:30 I see exactly what the data is, and then if it preconceives with the bias that I have already predetermined, then it's a go for me. If it doesn't, then you don't get me trading, right? I don't know if you understand what I mean. What I said is pretty simple. Like, I've already set my bias that I want to see this thing going up, and then me wanting to see this thing going up is exactly when I see this one become exactly what I want here, which is like 224 is replicated or anything lower or around that number. Then when that data come out, no matter where the market decides to go, I'm still going to buy in favor of the market. But if it goes contrary to that, then you don't get me taking any action in the market as well, right? So some people are saying no sound, some people are saying there's sound. I don't know, is it the phone that others are using, or I don't actually get it. So that will be like, you know, my analysis. But there's one more thing that I want to show you. I think that would also inform you in terms of how to even complement this, because you realize that when it comes to the dollar crosses, we have only analyzed GBP USD, we have only analyzed Euro USD, and then XA USD. But there are other crosses that will also matter in terms of the analysis, right? Which is like AUD USD and then NZD USD, right? So we have to quickly check AUD USD to see that, okay, AUD USD, how is it positioned technically, and then we also check NZD USD, and then we check. So this is NZD USD first, right? Now if you look at NZD USD, you can see that it made an effort to initially run up, which was yesterday, and then yesterday you can see that I actually did trade it, right? I sent the trade out to the community, and then what we realized is that it came down, right? Let me see. Okay, so yeah, you people can still hear me now. Yesterday we tried to buy into NZUSD, and then our bias was basically because of this double bottom here, right? And then we tried entering around here, went a little bit in our favor, and then it has come down, right? Now coming back down, and then knowing that we have NFP, what does it instigate? That maybe the market is now waiting for NFP to rather use it as that forceful, you know, reaction to actually push this market further up. Now this is NZUSD. If you look at AUD too, we can see the same thing, right? Look at the reaction here. This is a previous resistance here. The market has come there, and then it's been reacting on it. It tapped there, it went up. It came back, tapped there, it went up. We tried buying from here, gave us into a little pip, and then now it's back there. So what would you think normally? Are you thinking that maybe the fundamental is what the market is waiting for to push it up or not? Right now, if the fundamental is what the market is waiting for to push it up, then it coincides and re-emphasizes the already three positions that we have determined, which is GBP USD, Euro USD, and then XA USD. Being that we have already also predetermined that the NFP data should be weak, which is also going to show us weaker dollar, and then we are all going to buy, right? So if you understand what I just said, then you can already trade NFP successfully without anybody's help. But if you did not understand it, then I don't know. But yeah, now maybe you guys should vote. Should I trade NFP live with you, or I should leave you to do your own thing? I trade the NFP. I was saying something. What about gold? I already analyzed gold. I broke all of them down, beautiful and clearly. Nobody's going to teach you this thing anywhere, only me. And then watch how it plays out successfully. And I'm going to trade it as well. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to come back and show you results. Positive results anyway, no losses. I should trade live with you. Okay, so when it's around 120, by then I would have made my full decision. So 120, if you're here, you should also join at 120 again. And then that's if I fully make my mind up to trade with you guys. 120 should be on it, and then we'll analyze, we see where the market goes, we check the real market data, movement, fundamental analysis.